Yo, what's going on, PML? It's your boy Ant Dog back talking PML. We're back for part two of the regression purge, as some people are calling it. I got Greeny in the building today, man. He's gonna help me go through the rest of these teams before we get into the off season, man, which should be tonight, I think, at 10 p.m. So gonna start making some moves for 2024 season. And it should be interesting, man. So let's go ahead and say what's up, Greeny, and then we'll go ahead and get into this.
Yeah, what's going on, Ant? It's this is when the season gets interesting for a lot of teams. This is like their big part. This is what people look forward to. Even people that are usually playoff or Super Bowl contenders. This offseason stuff really can separate people from getting into the playoffs or advancing, right, or making the playoffs or not. You look at people that have done really well in the draft the past couple seasons are usually the teams that are doing really, really good right now. So this stuff is super important. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody kind of seen who their big name stars are on the team, and now it's time to add and maybe ship some guys off to get some draft capital or whatever the issue is. But so we finished off on the Jets the other night, and now I'm sitting here looking at the Lions, man. And he looked like I'm not sure how many got regressed for him, but a big name that I'm seeing is No More Akuda, who I think had a pretty good season.
Yeah, and the thing is, he went he went out and got Surtain, right, who kept his dev. But part of the reason why he got Surtain is because he wanted to pair two superstar corners that had some speed, had some really good man coverage, and he was locking up with those guys. So obviously Okuda's stats haven't regressed really, but his losing that superstar, and I think he had like a man type ability as well. So losing that definitely is got to be annoying for Hype Mike after being in the Super Bowl and Okuda having a good year. He had 10 plus picks if I'm correct here. He had 13 picks, 60 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, had a forced fumble, had 3 touchdowns, and that dude regresses. That's brutal.
Yeah, that is brutal, especially the fact that he went all the way to the Super Bowl and then like 13 plus interceptions. I'm not sure what Madden stats are going off of. I don't know if they're going off like real life stats, like where like 3, 4, or 5 interceptions is pretty solid, or if they got like some like arcade mode like goals or something that you gotta get like 50 interceptions in a season or something, because 13. So that's. I mean, some corners only get 13 in their first couple, like 4 or 5 years or something like that, right? Like,
yeah.
So 13 is pretty wild, and it's not even counting like the deflections or anything. So
yeah, and he had a couple big picks in the playoffs too, and I think Okuda had his dev before the season, but when we've looked at this, it really seems like most of the players that lost their devs were guys that got their devs during this past season or after the season. So that was one with like the Chiefs. McCole Hardman got it during the season, lost it. The Kamara linebacker got it after the season, during the season, and after the season went all the way up again and went all the way back down. So
yeah,
it seems to be a rare one where he had it prior to at a young age and lost it here. So that's a tough one for Mike.
Yeah, definitely. Luckily he keeps his tight end, the star tight end. He's an X factor actually, but he keeps T.J. Hawkinson, big one, and Garrett Wilson.
If he could have, he would have kept Okuda rather than having wrecking ball.
Yeah, definitely. I think Mike is more of a defensive player, But yeah, that is tough, man, because he built the team based off of that. I think that's what he was looking for in his defense, and that's rough. But he keeps Garrett Wilson, Patrick Surtain, and then Baker Mayfield, who I didn't even know was a superstar. But I think I'm just going off of real life. I'm like, oh, he's not that great, but
got superstar during the season and has sleight of hand
and tied out. Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's good to pair up with that with T.J. Hawkinson. But yeah, he's could be worse. I mean, we have some teams. You know, one we'll get into later, but you know, there's some teams with one and so, you know, multiple teams with two. So, I mean, yeah, you lost Okuda, and that's a big one, but. I mean, he's sitting with 4 superstar abilities right now, so it's not, you know, I wouldn't say the end of the world, but you know, I think a user like Hype Mike, he'll be able to bounce back, probably have some during the season and build back up.
Yep, I agree.
Next one we'll go to is the Packers. The Packers, they're one of the teams that it seems like they kept almost all their ability guys. I'm looking at it right now. They got 6.
Yeah, they lost Rashawn, who had good ability, I believe. I think he might have had no outsiders or something like that.
Oh, okay. That's good to pair up with that Kenny Clark inside stuff.
Yeah, and he was 88 speed, so it's always good to have when you got, you know, when you have an ability.
Yeah, I don't know. A guy that's blazing fast, yeah.
Yeah, and Jordan Love lost his superstar, which is big. So that definitely hurt. But I would say what's probably the most important thing to him out of all of his regressions is the fact that Devontae Adams, not only did he keep his X factor, but at 31, he did not lose any speed. He's still 92 speed. He only lost 7 points total for regression, like 2 catching traffic, medium route, deep route, and catching.
Yeah.
When we've seen other players at 28, 29 lose, you know, 1, 2, 3 speed. So him at 31 not lose any speed, I think he's happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. And then he also, another big one is Aaron Jones. That's a big offensive weapon for him too. You know, he likes to, you know, I think he's more of a, you know, kind of check down. He's his check down guy out of the backfield. I don't really think he runs like wheel routes or anything like to the extreme. I know I've seen him do it a couple times, but I don't think.
Well, his matchup nightmare abilities coming out of the backfield is good, but Aaron Jones 1 speed, so he didn't regress a ton, but he lost his speed.
Yeah,
he lost change of direction. He lost an excel, so it's going to slow him up a little bit.
Yeah, but I think that what is it that you said matchup nightmare, right? So I'm pretty sure he's gonna get like some animations, especially when you're throwing to him against their linebacker. So
yeah, you can't man up Aaron Jones. It's
not with the linebacker at least. Yeah. So he keeps him, Kenny Clark, Jair Alexander, who has shut down. I think that's probably one of the better DB abilities, right? And then he's got short route KO and deep out zone KO. So he's probably one of the better, you know, ability guys overall at the DB position. And then he has George Karl Laftis. I think I said that right. Yeah, score 1 for Anthony. He's got under pressure, which I think that just, you know, disrupts the quarterback. I'm not sure if that works. If
it does.
Even if the quarterback has like doesn't have paranoid sense of pressure, it still like jacks him up.
Yeah, it still works.
Oh, okay. And then this is a guy that I think has like 99 like play rec or something like that, right? Or awareness. Or was that another guy?
I think that was somebody else.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, no.
It's not this guy. I thought he was the guy that got. Is he the one that got that guy though? Or?
No, Jack has one of them. I don't know who got the other guy. But again, another one here for the Packers, someone that keeps their superstar, 32-year-old left tackle, David Bakhtiari. And again, at 32, barely regresses at all. Lost a total of 4 points. 1 for pass block power, pass block finesse, pass block, and impact block.
Yeah.
And abilities, which are all day and edge protector. That edge protector is really important for him in that division with Hype Mike, who likes to bring a lot of pressure from the outside.
He's gonna seal it off from the.
That's massive that he keeps that.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, that's pretty big for him. You know, I think he'll be able to adjust to the Jordan Love not having it anymore. But yeah, to have like your core set of guys, pretty much, almost all of them keep your abilities. I think that's key from going into this next season. I think it's kind of a bounce back season. Not that he didn't have a good season, but I think that he's going to be hunting for that division again. And in this offseason, he's probably just going to look to add to the the depth that he's already got on the team. So
yeah, I agree.
Definitely pretty big for him. Moving along, man, to JT, man, and his Carolina Panthers. He's going to keep X Factor Christian McCaffrey and Brian Burns. Those are two. I wouldn't say McCaffrey so much as a big one. I feel like whatever running back he wants to use, he's going to figure out how to use them regardless of the abilities or anything like that. But Brian Burns is a big one. I know JT likes to bring a lot of pressure, so a guy like that, especially with the under pressure ability, and then he got strip specialist too, so that's key. I wonder if was Moore a superstar?
He was, yeah. So his two that he lost were Moore and Henry 20200 or however you.
Yeah, it's a linebacker, right?
Yeah, the 91 speed linebacker.
Yeah, he got it. I think he said he made the Pro Bowl. He was the starter on the Pro Bowl and everything. I think I seen him talking about that in the chat. That one was that is rough. Like, how you make the Pro Bowl and then not keep your ability?
Yeah, he definitely did. I'm looking at it right now.
That's pretty wild. And then you got Zach Harris with extra credit and edge threat. As a superstar, he keeps his ability. And Darnell Washington, the tight end, he's got slot-o-matic, so better cuts and catching on short slot routes. So he's at 4 overall. I think he lost maybe two or three.
I think just 2, yeah.
Yeah, just 2. So not one. He's one of the more fortunate ones, but I'm pretty sure he would have rather kept Tutu or whatever his name is, and
yeah,
and probably maybe lose Washington or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what abilities Tutu have, but it's definitely tough, especially the younger guy to lose that guy. So, but he's with 4, so he's not. I mean, he's not like I said, he's not one of the bottom guys in with regression right now. So, I look to. I mean, I feel like he knows how to build up guys and get them to superstar. What I'm actually shocked on is that his running back didn't get like a superstar ability or anything in the offseason.
Yeah, I think just from splitting so much, which he's got 7 guys on his roster right now, but he does a really good job fresh, making sure he's not in the 80-20 rule at all. But that limits his ability to get those guys additional abilities sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. With those 8, 9 running backs, man, they're just cycling in and out. But and then now we got you, man. You're one of the less fortunate guys with the dev abilities right now, man. You got 2 superstar guys, man. DeMarvin Leal, who I believe was the first-year draft guy that I believe probably CPU drafted. Yeah. Yeah.
I think DT taken that year. And he's solid. He's solid as shit. His abilities aren't that great with strip specialist. It activates every once in a while, but not. And reach elite's pretty good for a DT, but not what you want really at all in that second slot.
Yeah. And then if I'm saying this right, Gervin Hall Jr.
Yeah, he's the guy traded Gilmore for pick 20. He's who I took with that 20th pick.
Oh, okay.
But he's another one. Got the strip specialist slot 1 and doesn't have slot 2 open yet. So not ideal for what you want on the safety. And it's what hurts is I got 2 devs during the season and then 2 after, and all 4 of those got taken away. So Devin Duvernay lost his. And he had a pretty good year for a team that didn't throw a lot. 65 grabs, 1,100 yards, and 13 touchdowns. So not the worst year in the world. but obviously he didn't keep his. He regressed. Then I had Josh Uchi, who he got a dev after the season, and he also had a pretty good season. He had 15 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, so that was 23.5, which put him in position to dev up, but then lost it.
You're like, damn it.
But then Keandre Smith was my other first-round pick that I was clowned on because he had a 63 overall, which was terrible.
Is that the running back?
Huh?
Is that the running back?
No, the linebacker that I took.
Linebacker. Okay.
Overall, he did not have that great of a year. He had 10 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, had a pick, but he had like 3 forced fumbles, I think.
Yeah.
Had a touchdown or 2 maybe. So he was weird to me when he got it after the season. I was like, he's definitely going to regress. So he regressed, and I wasn't too unhappy about that.
Yeah.
But L. Duggar, man, that's the one that fucking hurts. That hurts so bad that he regressed because he had, a pretty decent year, and he had good abilities. He had pick artist.
Yeah.
And one of the medium out route KO or something like that. So, but that pick artist thing, in a game versus Bubba, that last game, he threw like a corner route, and how sometimes when they throw a corner route, the corner can like knock the ball straight down, kind of like as they're getting like tackled in the end zone.
Yeah.
So like that happened, and because he had pick artists, he just stole the ball out of the middle of the air as it was being like swatted down.
It gives him like faster animations, right, to the ball or something like that.
Yeah, it was a good one to have, especially on him, a sub linebacker. So out of all of them, he hurts the most. I know I'd say like Uchi. They definitely were bothersome. Keandre Smith, he shouldn't have had it in my opinion, so I wasn't mad that he lost it. But this one was painful. I'm gonna have to try hard. Oh no, he's 28 now, so I can't even get it back, right?
Yeah. Well, you can still get devs later in this, later in their career, but it's a little bit harder. I think they have to have like pretty insane seasons. Because in another league, I had the Ravens. And who was it that Peters lost it, and then like at the end of the year he got it back again as a superstar. So it's possible, but you have to have some wild seasons. I think he had like 14 interceptions or something like that season. So yeah, it's a guy. I kind of feel like the XP like sliders kind of affect it too, because like in those in leagues where like the XP rate is higher, like those I feel like the players progress better, and then that gives them better shots to get like the devs. I feel in this one it's really hard, like with how our sliders are, like how they're lower. I feel like dudes don't really like, it's harder to get devs, or maybe it's just the number that we have it set to. Maybe the other league had it higher or whatever it is.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, but who knows? But yeah, it definitely sucks, man, to only keep those 2 out of the, what was it, you said 4 or something like that you had in season, or 3, something like that. It's definitely rough.
Season with 2, I got 2 during the season and 2 after the season, so I was up to 6 and then lost 4.
Yeah, that's rough. And then and they're all your young guys too that you traded for, or you went out and got in the draft. So that's unfortunate.
Yep.
Going over to the Raiders, man, we got Deloitte and his Raiders, man. He's got Fred Warner and Darnell Moss up at the top as X Factor. So those are big ones. Grab and go for Darnell Moss, and then Fred Warner was zone hawk and mid zone KO and outmatched. So the big ones for him. And he still keeps Deshaun Watson. Not with quick draw and anchored extender. I don't know how much he uses those, but but I mean, a superstar, better than nothing.
Yep.
Trayvon.
Trayvon Mullen and Diablo were the 2 that he was saying he wanted to keep the most. Diablo actually went up to an X Factor and then back down the superstar.
Yeah.
Probably annoying. And then Clennon Farrell, however you pronounce it, same thing. He was superstar, went up to X Factor after the season and back all the way down the star. So that's definitely...
Yeah, that's a tough one.
And I think Max Crosby was it Max Crosby? He lost another one too.
Yeah, I think it was Crosby. Crosby. I remember seeing him get it. I think he had to get it during the season. And he got it, and then unfortunately, he lost it. It might not even been this season. It might have been last season that he got it. But but I mean, he keeps most of his key players. Like he said, he wanted to keep like certain ones. I don't think he was really too worried about losing Deshaun Watson due to the fact that he doesn't really even have the greatest like abilities, I guess. But I'm pretty sure he's not mad that he still has it though. I mean.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that's one of the guys that he would have been like, whatever. Like, I think going into the season, he was like, well, if I lose it, I lose it, whatever. So,
because of those, there's a couple of QBs. The same thing with like Hype Mike. Like, he would rather have lost like Baker than Okuda, because when these QBs, when you get a dev story for them and their overall is not that great, they have a really high likelihood of getting these dog shit abilities. So you almost prefer them to wait a season or two to get their abilities. So, like Deshaun right now, quick draw, that's not a bad one because his overall was already pretty decent, and the anchored extender is not the worst thing in the world, but it's certainly not the best. So yeah, if he had another shot at like getting two different abilities, he probably would have been okay with that.
Yeah. So like he's not too worried about that. I mean, I think that, like we talked about, the core set of guys that he has kept their ability, so it's a big plus for him. Then moving on to the Rams. I think the Rams pretty much kept everybody too. They got 4: Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, which I feel like it's kind of hard for those guys to lose it. I feel like it's almost set that they won't lose it, just because probably their overall. I think they're both like 99 overall. So
yeah,
I mean,
he didn't have many devs, but Regression hit his team hard regardless.
Yeah, because it's a little bit of an older team. Yeah.
Yeah. Stafford lost 3 throw power.
Yeah.
All the way to throw power. And then a big one, which, I think was getting overlooked, Jalen Ramsey lost 2 speed. So still 91 is still serviceable at the cornerback position, but there's a big difference at corner between 93 and 91. And I still 99 man, 99 zone, 99 player X. I still don't know if you really want to test them, but some at like a 90, 97, 98 speed corner wide receiver probably beats him downfield now. Whereas 93 probably keeps him close enough that those abilities take over.
Yeah,
bottleneck, bench press, one step ahead. But 91, that's tough. But then Aaron Donald lost, I think, 2 or 3 speed as well. And 2 block shed. He lost a decent amount of points, I think. So that's him, but still 99 overall. So
yeah, like you said, those abilities will probably take over. When he needs them. So shouldn't be too bad. Jacob Harris is a big one that I'm pretty sure he wanted to keep. Not sure how much he likes the short out elite, but he's gonna.
He like. Crosses that dude. He's not throwing no short out elite bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, also, I'm not sure how much he entirely likes it, but yeah, from that, I know he throws a lot of corner posts and like kind of like drag routes to him. He kind of has those plays that kind of makes you pick between him and the running back, or the dig route or the post with Harris. So kind of puts you in a bad spot. He kind of knows what plays to use to have those like 1,800-yard seasons with this 60-something overall tight end. So,
well, one of the big ones for him was Robbie Anderson went up to superstar, then back down to star. But I think because he was a superstar, he didn't regress as much as he would have. He didn't lose any. He's still 95 speed, so that's huge. And Stafford going from 93 throw power to 90. I would say he's probably going to be looking at the
I could see him either trading for a quarterback or, like you said, free agency or the draft.
Finally got a round pick, so.
Yeah, he finally has a first-round pick. So, yeah, we'll see what he does. I know there are a couple quarterbacks on the market. I'm pretty sure he's checking in on those guys. But, But yeah, hopefully he doesn't get any of them, man, because I want him to stick with Stafford.
Yeah.
Man. Then we got the Ravens, who look like they got hit pretty hard as well, man. They only keep Lamar Jackson, which is a big one. Even though he says that Lamar messes up his offense, I'm just like, what? How's that? I just run around. But yeah, Lamar, and then he has Marlon Humphrey, who keeps Selfless and improved knockouts, which is short route KO and deep route KO. So that's a big one.
Yeah, he lost Asher Queen, which is a huge one because I think he had good abilities, and he's a 89 speed middle linebacker user. So losing abilities with him definitely hurts.
I believe he got him this year too, right? He's one of those guys that got him this season too. I'm not sure if Booty lost it though, I think, because he got suspended, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so
he technically had it, but he lost it because of that. So
that suspension rule, right, or whatever it is. Like if you get a dev in the year that you get suspended, you lose it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, Butte's still fast. Still got good not abilities, but good attributes and stuff. So ratings. So I think he'll be all right, even though he's not a superstar, and he's still young, so you could probably still build him up. And so he should be good on that one. Moving along to the Saints, man, we got he keeps Alvin Kamara and Ryan Ramczyk, I think is how you say his name. 2 for 2. Kamara, he's a big guy that he uses a lot. I know he likes to use Kamara out of the backfield a lot. And now he's got those speed receivers out there. He's got can't even think of their names, man.
Hollywood Brown.
There we go. Hollywood Brown and Samuels. There we go. And then he's still got his tight end Topman, or it's a big target for him as well. So
he's like 80 speed or something like that. But then he also at the end of the year started using Juwan Johnson, the backup, who's 85 speed.
Okay. Was he a converted receiver? I mean, like from receiver to tight end? I think it was a receiver, right?
He was a receiver in college, and he's just like a big body, 6'4", I think like 240 or so. I'm blanking off where he went. Did he go to Notre Dame? He went somewhere, a decent school. But coming out, they converted him to a tight end just because of his size, and he didn't run well. So he's got good hands like a receiver. So he's got good 80s overall. For catching stats, 85 speed. So he started turning to him towards the end of the year, I believe.
All right. Yeah, so he's another guy that's down in the 2 mark, two ability player mark. He's down there with a good handful of people. I think we have like 6-7 teams. I only have 2. I think we even seen JT talking about we should probably lower it to 7 or something like that.
I mean, if teams are going to get hit this hard, it really will create huge imbalances if some teams can stay at 8 or 9. We don't have many teams there. I think we only have like 3 teams at 7. But still, when some teams are dropping down to 1 because of how hard this is hitting, team was at 8 or 9. We were trying to keep, lowering the XP, limiting superstars, all the we wanted that came from, specifically a couple of guys that really, really were pushing for it, was to try to keep the balance in the league as close as possible. And now potentially you're going to have in season 4, if one of the 2 of these teams, if the football team or the Jets get a dev or 2 quickly, there might be 8 or 9, ability guys going up against 1. And it's
then it starts getting a little even more crazier if like one team's got like all the best abilities, then it gets wild. They got their running back with Tank, and then they got their they got their lineman traits and all sorts. Then it starts getting real crazy and it really unbalances everything. You're like, whoa. But yeah, we'll see, man. Like you said, a lot. You got like 3 or 4 teams that are up there at 7. So, I mean, really have to. Yeah, that's something that I'm pretty sure the commish team is going to take a look at. I know I've been seeing a couple people throw around just taking out abilities all in general, and I don't. I mean, it sounds interesting. I mean, I think it would be an interesting, switch of things. But we'll kind of have to look at. Yeah, that's not. I highly doubt that's something that happens this cycle.
No, that's the one thing I said is you can't do it mid-cycle.
Yeah. That'd have to be like from the start. Yeah.
People make trades for ability players. They draft hoping to get a dev. Can't then fuck all of that just because you're mid-cycle.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I could see us like opening up like a side league and just testing it out. But, as far as like doing it for this league to finish out the cycle, I highly doubt that's something like that's going to happen.
I think what's more likely, and we don't want to go too in depth into it, but Problem when he was in the league said it. K-Mac has said it. A lot of people have said it. It's really only one or two abilities that are like super stupid, just like crazy stupid for no reason.
Yeah,
guys are pro players, and they say in all the pro leagues, pro tournaments, money games, it's Escape Artist and Gunslinger are just taken out.
Yeah.
You can't use them. They've now made Escape Artist like 7 AP or something like that for MUT, so you almost can't use it in MUT at all because you can't have anybody else with abilities.
Yeah.
I would say what's more likely than us going to no abilities is potentially looking at taking out a couple of what's quote-unquote super OP ones. So off the top of head, obviously Escape Artist and Gunslinger. And then on defense, I would say maybe even Acrobat because, the Acrobat animations you get are freaking ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah, they are pretty wild. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. You'd be like, no, where are you diving? But, I don't think Escape Artist is the worst ability for Sim, like Madden, because, we have all the rules where you can't, instantly roll out and all sorts of things like that. So you can't technically use Escape Artist on every single play. So it's still bad though. Like you can, literally, I would know. I had the Ravens, so I was running around with Lamar. Yeah, it's bad.
Being in a division with two of them, it's not the same thing as just instantly rolling out. But the Escape Artist thing is rolling out, playmakering, able to run around the defensive line while you're waiting for playmakers. It might not always just be the instant rollout. There's plenty of things, one of the things that Bubba's gotten good with, even if he sits in the pocket, if anybody gets close to him, he just fucking takes off, and you can't catch him. 88 speed with Escape Artist, you're not with linemen.
But if I'm being honest, I think there's really only two quarterbacks that should have Escape Artist, and that's Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson, because you see that in games where you're like, oh, he's getting sacked and he's gone, he's 20 yards out of the upfield when it looked like he was gonna get sacked. Those are the two guys that I think, Josh Allen, I don't think he has Escape Artist. I think he just when the pocket breaks down, he takes off. I could see him having more like a bulldozer ability or something like that. I don't think I don't think he has that Escape Artist ability though. The Escape Artist is you have him cornered and he's gone. And that's the only two people I could think that really do that is Kyler Murray and Lamar, and maybe Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson gets caught from most of the time he gets caught.
Yeah, and you look at, it's you look at the people that have them, who can use them well, and certain people are going to complain, some people aren't. And again, I don't mind having the abilities in. I like the fact that you can get rewarded for good play, even when they get taken from you. It's still something to play for. So I like having the abilities. I wouldn't even say that we need to get rid of Escape Artist or Gunslinger.
Yeah.
But I would say that's probably the next step in PML evolution, because when people start talking or complaining, unfortunately we got to come up with ways to quiet that down. So if it really becomes that big of an issue, and we saw the Gunslinger thing, dude, all it's gonna take is if Hype Mike got Gunslinger on Baker Mayfield, it would be bad. You know what I mean? It would be fun.
Yeah, or you get like K-Mac that gets Gunslinger, or KMFO that gets Gunslinger. It's over. It's a wrap.
Oh, K-Mac with Hot Rod is enough, you know. So it depends, because some people could have these abilities and not use them to the fullest extent. But FA with Gunslinger, 80% of all of his passes seem to be play actions, right? Because he was able to get rid of the ball so quickly.
Yeah.
And he still had a good year with Jordan Love, so you can't say it was all abilities. But
there was an adjustment period, though. There definitely was an adjustment period, though.
He had a down year, season at the beginning of the year, or maybe even towards the end of last year, when he had some suspensions and stuff. In the beginning of this year, he started off slow, and he had 9-7 or 10-6 or 10-7, something like that. So he still made the playoffs, but he was not nearly the same coach without the gunslinger ability. So yeah, if you put that on Mike, MFO, K-Mac or whatever, like it's GG's. Like,
it's a wrap, man. And I honestly think Gunslinger is probably the most broken ability in Sim Madden, because that's something you could use every single play, you know. And
but you see what
I played
in MGC. He's got Mac Jones with 97.
Fucking ridiculous, dude. I hadn't even
ever.
Yeah, I hadn't even played. I think in that same league, Aaron Rodgers still has a gunslinger in that league, and he got traded to the Browns. But the Browns user's not even that good, man. And it was making him look like he was like top 5 in the league. I was like, holy shit, dude was just slinging the rock. I was like, damn. All it takes is to get a little time and play action somebody upfield, and you're going to hit them every time with the ability, like, bah.
Yeah, but it's the same thing, too. That's why I'm like, I'm not for, like, getting rid of abilities, because it's like, if your team has that guy, right, why not use it, right? If you've gotten that ability, it's the same thing. Like,
I wouldn't say taking them all away, maybe, but like you said,
around 97 speed, am I not supposed to send him on a streak? Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Does in real life, like, of course, like, so if I have Gunslinger, I'm like, why would I not try to take advantage of it? So there's probably some levels there, though, that people should stick within. But like I said, I think more likely than not, we'll see a couple of these things probably get taken out.
Who knows? Maybe next Madden they'll tune everything, and it'll be fine tuned to where it's not like super OP or anything, you know. But,
no, they won't.
It's just wishful thinking, you know. But like you said, that's probably the next step, is just taking out certain ones and just making sure that, you know, it still has that sim feel to it, and it's not like an arcade game where, you know, dudes, you know, throwing fireballs across the field or something like that, you know. So but now, you know, back to the thing. I think this is the lowest ability team in the league. Seahawks with 1, Jamal Adams. So, you know, I think he lost damn near everybody. I think he got the running back to superstar during the season. He lost that one. I think he lost like 2 linebackers.
Yeah, he lost Jordan Brooks.
Yeah, Jordan Brooks. There we go. Possibly a defensive lineman. I'm not entirely sure if he got defense. I think
he had a lot of abilities. I think Gerald Everett was maybe 2 years ago and lost it 2 years ago. You know, but one of the things for him, though, is like Julio Jones, fucking 35 years old, still not losing speed. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, yeah.
Motherfucker is not dying.
Oh, man, that is pretty wild, though, man. Just the fact that he's still trucking. Yep. You would think he'd be the one, too, because he doesn't have, like, knee issues or something, or he always gets, like, turf toe or something like that every year.
Yeah, he's lower.
Yeah, so you would think he'd be one of the guys that's like, they need to bring back like you remember, like I think like one of the old Maddens, you could check like the injury, like their injury history and stuff like that, and I think like, you know, that'd be pretty cool to see them bring that back and just kind of have it affect like certain players. Moving on, but. Yeah, there wasn't much to talk about the Seahawks, man. It's just the one. He kind of lost all his abilities. So he's got he's got a pretty good, pretty crazy climb, man. To get back to that top of the division, man. Yeah, it's not looking good right now for him. But moving on to the Steelers, man, they are another team. They got 6. T.J. Watt kept his. Najee Harris kept his. Minka Fitzpatrick kept his X Factor. And then down at Superstar, he's got Jordan Davis. Ahmad Garner, who was a X Factor, and he went down. And then Devin Bush, who I believe was a superstar the entire time. And then the big one that we're talking about that he that he lost was his quarterback. So he finally worked his way up to get JT Daniels to superstar. And I guess in like one of his last game or something against Cookie, he I guess was just trying to air it out to get his tight end like a star ability or something from what I've seen in the chat.
Yeah.
And he threw over that limit, and so he's losing. He lost his superstar ability, so his quarterback's back down to star.
And he lost superstar with Chase Claypool, which is huge.
Claypool. There we go.
Claypool a lot. He had like 1,400 yards or something like that.
Yeah, and he's a pretty good weapon, man. He's tall. He's like 6'3", and
40.
Yeah, and he's like 92, 93 speed or something like that. So he's solid. But
cycle.
Yeah, I'm looking at I want to call him HD because his dang Discord name now, but Neff. I'm looking for him to make a couple moves. I kind of feel like he's right there to compete with the division. Probably one or two guys, get him over the hump and have him, maybe taking the division this year. Who knows?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that division shakes out.
Yeah, haven't really heard too much from King K, man. I wonder if he's I know he would say he was shooting like a movie or a show or something, so he might just be busy. But yeah, I haven't really seen too much from him. Yeah, so we'll see. He was right there too. King K. That whole division was pretty close all the way up until like the last couple of weeks. So
yeah, they were all.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, man. I honestly think King K could have came away with that division. There were a couple games where they were really close, and I felt like he had the game in hand, and just something, some late decisions kind of swayed it, and he ended up losing those games. So yeah, we'll see. He drafts really well too, so I'm pretty certain he'll put his team in a good spot to compete again another year.
Yeah.
Now we'll go to the Texans. I think the Texans actually have the most. Possibly 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they have 7, so they're tied. I don't know. I thought I saw 8, but he
Jets,
kept.
Commanders and Texans all have 7.
Yeah. So Joe Mixon, Drew Sanders, the rookie, both keep theirs. Is he a rookie? Yeah, he was a rookie. Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, they keep their X Factors. Luke Matthews, Laramie Tunzel, Roquan Smith, Brian Brees, and Ali Marpet all have superstar abilities.
Yeah, he lost it from Christian Kirk, who had a crazy year.
Yeah, it was a wild season.
So 2 years ago was the crazy year. He had I think it was looking at 110 catches, 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns. This year it went down. Still 80 catches, 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns. So, he split up the wide receiver duty a little bit more this year because he got Anthony Schwartz, who went up normal the star. So that's huge because now he can get him to superstar.
Yeah. He also got Quez Watkins, right?
Yeah, but Quez is nerfed here because we started early, so he's only 94 speed, I think, in Rex.
Okay. Yeah, he's up there in like the high 90s in speed and regs. Yeah, so.
Kirk 93 speed star, and then Schwartz now a 97 speed star. So Schwartz ate into the Kirk targets, and Schwartz finished with 65 receptions for 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns. So that probably hurt Kirk, but now put Schwartz in position to go to superstar this year, and he's 4 or 5 speed faster. So I think Cookie is okay with that.
Yeah, I think for receivers, I think that the touchdowns are what, are the big thing there, because, I see a lot of those guys that have like high yardage, but that, like you said, they have like 6 or like 8 touchdowns, and they usually lose. I usually see those guys lose their devs because of the touchdowns.
Dude, he had 13 touchdowns and still regressed, so it can't just be that.
Yeah, yeah. Then again, it doesn't make sense. Sometimes you're like, well, what is it? What is it? Just tell us what it is so that we can figure it out. But yeah, he's done a great job building this team up, man.
Ridiculously.
Yeah, we know Cookie loves those hole in the wall teams when we first start, man. he likes to clear it out and then rebuild it from the bottom, man. So he's obviously done a great job, in prior cycles, and now he was one game away from pretty much being in the Super Bowl. So be interesting to see what he does this next season. He's probably just gonna add some more crazy guys to his roster, and it'll be interesting to see. Getting down to the last couple teams here, man. We got the Titans. They have 3 superstars. I mean, two superstars and one X Factor, which is Derrick Henry, and then he has Tim Smith and Bryce Young, who keep the superstar ability. I think he lost his other D tackle that got the superstar ability.
Yeah, he lost Zach Pickens, the DT, and Jayon Smith, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, didn't he have a corner that had or a safety that had a superstar ability, or was he star?
Yeah, it was star. He had Josh Jobe and traded him
to the Dolphins, right?
Dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so yeah, he's gonna stick out with 3. Not too bad. I think the big one that he's, is Derrick Henry. He keeps him, and Bryce Young. Definitely didn't want to lose Bryce Young, especially with all the I mean, he pretty much traded like 3 corners, 3 first-round picks or whatever it is, all bundled up, to get up to number 1 to get him. So,
Henry's another one of these guys that are 30 or over and didn't lose any speed. So you're seeing how some of these guys are getting a little on the luckier side on that, and some of the guys are being a little unlucky on that. Again, Derrick Henry at 30 stays the same speed. Jalen Ramsey at 29 loses 2 speed. It's like, what the hell is that? Like,
yeah, it's I don't know, man. It must be the genes or something, man. But yeah, maybe the training staff or something. I'm not sure, man. But definitely, I'm pretty sure he's happy to keep those 2 guys at least, though. Then moving on to the Vikings, man. They keep Dalvin Cook at X Factor. Justin Jefferson, superstar. Daniel Hunter, superstar, and then Keely Ringo, I think wasn't an X Factor. I believe he was superstar, so he keeps that. I can actually check right here to see if he lost it or not.
He was always just a superstar.
Yeah,
that's all he really had. I think was Hunter X Factor though. I think Hunter was X Factor.
I think Hunter was an X Factor.
Oh no, he was. He was SS. Yeah.
What was he? Oh shoot. I thought he was X Factor. Maybe he was an X Factor like 2 seasons ago. Because I recall looking at him and he was an X Factor. Could be tripping though. But yeah, I mean, Wumbo coming back into the league, man, taking over the Vikings. I think he was a little bit in cruise. I wouldn't say cruise control, but just kind of getting a feel for the team at the end right there of the season, and he's probably looking to make some moves and compete for that division. He's gonna have it's gonna be a tough division though, man. Going up, you got two users who've already been to the Super Bowl, so yeah, it's definitely gonna be.
This team is designed to compete, though. This is a very complete team. He's got a top pick again. He put Joe Burrow on the block. So is he looking to trade Burrow and take one of those top QBs? We'll see. But Dalvin Cook still 93 speed, X Factor. Justin Jefferson 92 speed. Receiver with abilities. Irv Smith Jr.'s 86 speed. He's got Hunter Henry, a pretty good offensive line. Danielle Hunter, like we just said. He's got, I think, who's his linebacker? Oh, Eric Kendricks, who he's dying now a little bit. He's getting up there in age 32.
He still has Barr too, right?
No, I think he was a free agent last year. Somebody else signed him.
Oh, okay. I think he was pretty much dying anyway. So
Eli Ringo, who's a 92 speed, young superstar corner. Then he's got Marcus May, who's he doesn't age, he's still 90 speed at safety. So it's a team that can compete, and he's got the second overall pick. So he's got to make a choice there. Do you try to trade Burrow for a bag of chips and go with the quarterback, or do you rock it out with Burrow and you can trade that pick too for a bunch of shit right now? So it's really going to be interesting to see how he goes about building that team. I think with the guys that are around him, again, you're looking at the offense from the Packers, you're looking at the offense from the Lions. Like, I think he needs some more defensive help. So it wouldn't surprise me if he ships out that second pick for, maybe a later pick and a stud on defense, or maybe multiple high picks. You look at, there's a couple teams that have multiple first rounders. So he holds a lot of keys to the draft right now, holding that second pick, and, people being unsure if he's going to go QB or not with Burrow on the roster.
Yeah. I mean, at this point in the cycle, I don't know. I think I would just stick with Burrow. I don't think Burrow's not horrible. I think it's kind of a risk. It's kind of a risk with trying to take one of these quarterbacks. You might get something worse than what Burrow is. So
they're going to be worse. They're not going to be an 82, 83, 84 overall, right? Like that's very rare in our drafts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get somebody with 1 or 2 throw power higher, because he got 89 throw power, but the rest of his stats are all mid 80s, and he's not going to regress like someone like Q, whose quarterback just died. Like, he can't come out like
flatlined.
Who regressed, but he's still 92 throw power. Like, I can use him for season 4. Season 5, he's probably donezo, but so I have to plan for that. Q's got to plan for his QB, but someone like this, Joe Burrow, like. He's got 89 throw power, 85 deep accuracy, 88 medium, 90 short, like 88 throw on the run, 85 throw under pressure, 86 play. You're not going to get a quarterback better than that. You might get somebody faster or somebody with better throw power, but the rest of those stats are not. If he drafts one of those top 2 quarterbacks, their overall stats will not be what Joe Burrow's is now, even by the end of the cycle. The only thing that might be different is speed and throw power.
Yeah, because you can only go up 5 per attribute. So, unless you hit money on a drafting a QB and he's got like 80 overall, like across the board. But
again, looking at Wumbo, even if he builds a team properly and he competes, like, Packers have a really good defense and Lions have a really good defense, and once Bacon figures out PS5, like, he's going to be solid too. So his division is going to be 6 probably tough battles. So his quarterbacks aren't going to finish with crazy stats, most likely.
Yeah, so you're not going to dev him up.
You're not going to dev him up, So if I were him with that second pick, I'd be making calls to ship that pick off for a freaking ransom.
Yeah, or like a big name player or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah, something, but I think it has to be on the defensive side of the ball, though. I think you're right on that. But that's pretty much it for all the regression, man. As like you said, you got the football team, Texans, and the other one was
the goddamn Jets. Man.
The Jets,
fuck?
Jets all with 7 abilities, and then you got the Raiders. I think another one was the Dolphins with 6. So you got a good handful of teams that are out there with a good number of abilities. It's gonna be an interesting season, man. It's gonna be interesting to see, who's starting off the season, who starts off hot, who's kind of stuck in the mud. But we got a long way to go, man. We're about to advance to just re-signs. The draft, I believe, is gonna be next Friday, next Friday.
Yeah, the draft is Friday, and I'm pissed. I might. I don't know how I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna have to try to figure out a way to be there. I might miss the draft, which is gonna. I got to figure out a way to be there.
Yeah, you can't miss the draft, man. Might have to get with
how this team got left for dead for 2 years, so I got it. Like I can't then miss a draft, So I got to something with. It's like I got work shit like every other day. Like my kids got like birthday parties now because they're 5 and 7, and apparently in freaking April, May, and June is when all these kids' parties are. So every I got something, but I'm gonna try to figure it out because I got pick 9, but I'm trying to make some moves. I got a bunch of guys on the trade block. Shout out to the trade block right now. So, I got Devin McCourty if someone needs a safety for the year, still 90 speed, 85 zone, like 90 play rec. DeMarvin Leal's a young superstar defensive tackle. Jonnu Smith, 87 speed tight end. I got pick 9 on the block. Michael Onwenu, Trent Brown, Isaiah Wynn, a whole bunch of guys on the block. So I'm looking to make some moves for this draft and, hopefully I could be there and get lucky and hit on a couple folks.
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to hit up Goose or JT, man. I know they know how to use that the app from the phone or whatever it is, so that you can still be at the draft. So
the other day, but I'm my PSN account is tied to like an old email that I can't recover the password on. I actually called yesterday, but they're only open Monday through Friday, so I'm going to call tomorrow morning and try to reset the email that's on my PSN account, so then I can change my password, and then I could set up the remote play. So if I can't, be there, then I can either remote play in. I'm also going to potentially look at bringing my PS5 to my office and just like stashing it in my office room so nobody sees it. I'll be drafted. I'm on work call, but whatever.
Yeah, you just turn it down hey, but be there at the draft. That's the goal, huh? That's the goal.
My whole company comes upstairs and they're just like, they just hear me yelling, "Big splash!" Like,
just cracking up during the draft stream. Oh man. Yeah, but that's gonna do it, man. Pretty good show, man. Just going through the rest of the abilities and stuff that we still got in the league. Yeah, hopefully we get all the guys together, man, and do like a pre-draft show, stuff like that down the road. But I mean, you got anything else to say, man? Otherwise, we go ahead and head out, man. Enjoy the rest of our Sundays.
Yep, no, that's it. Appreciate you for putting this together. Like I said, if anybody wants to talk trades, let's do it. I want to move up in the draft, move back, move around, trade some folks. I want to just, if I can't make the playoffs, I got to be like the other guys that just, live for the off season. So I'm there, right? Living for this off season. I'm breathing it, and I need to make some moves. I got that itch right now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, then we'll. Yeah, you heard Greeny, man. If you guys want to make some trades with the Pats, man, if you want to send them superstar players, his call lines are open. So until next episode, next show, man. We'll see you later, man.
All right, peace out, man.